Hello and welcome to the Storytelling for the Soul podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Kanata, and this is the place we talk about all things expressive writing and other creative techniques, all with a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer thrown in. Buckle up and enjoy. Hello, it is blog reading time together. This week's blog is Quiet Confidence, Why You Don't Need to Be Louder. For a long time, I was told that my hesitation to be seen, especially when public speaking, stemmed from a lack of confidence. In my 20s and up until my mid-30s, I believed that if I were more confident, I'd actually look forward to speaking. At the time of writing, I'm 38 years old and I know I have zero issues with confidence. I've engaged in several courses, trainings, and all kinds of other pathways, and I've concluded that society's definition of confidence isn't accurate. In my 20s, I believe confidence looked like speaking more, sharing more, and shamelessly spruiking myself. If I worked on my confidence, I thought I'd be better at speaking up in meetings, being louder, and feeling more comfortable to be seen. Confidence doesn't always look like the loudest person in the room. As an introvert and the ultimate empath, according to several people in my close circle, I don't do anything at the surface level only. I ruminate a lot, feel deeply, and move through the world with sensitivity. I've recently discovered that I am a highly sensitive person, which is a trait. We live in a world where labels rule and we like to place people in boxes. Let me assure you that if you've related to anything I've shared so far and have been told you don't quite fit in the world, quiet confidence does exist. We live in a culture that confuses confidence with performance. As touched on earlier, confidence is often measured by how easily someone speaks, how assertive they appear, or how little they seem to doubt themselves publicly. In other words, the character they're playing in public. There's nothing wrong with being extroverted, loud, and assertive if that's who you authentically are. If you're not, know that you are capable if you resonate with being more reflective, introverted, and emotionally attuned. The underlying message. If you've ever been told to put yourself out there more or to be more confident, I have, like it's a switch I can flick on easily, what you're often being told is to be more visible in ways that suit other people. Isn't it funny how no one ever tells loud people to be quieter? No one ever tells outgoing people to stay at home more. No one ever tells the social butterfly to spend more time alone. And yet, introverts are often told to be the opposite of who they genuinely are daily. Regardless of whether you're introverted, extroverted, loud, quiet, or somewhere in between, confidence is not about how much attention you generate. It's about how grounded you are in your authentic self. What quiet confidence looks like. I may be biased, but I feel quiet confidence is more powerful in almost any setting. Quiet confidence comes with a calm assurance that often looks like listening before speaking, asking questions so that anything you say is informed by truth rather than based on assumption, not feeling like you're proving yourself as the expert or authority in every conversation. Quiet confidence stems from self-trust. It doesn't appear when you're not being noticed. It doesn't disappear when you're not being noticed. It doesn't collapse if you're misunderstood. More importantly, it's an acceptance that you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea and vice versa. Quiet confidence and leadership. Impactful leaders are not always the loudest people in the room. Often, they are the people creating psychological safety, listening deeply, and responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Reclaiming who you truly are. When you try to adopt a louder version of yourself that isn't natural to you, it can feel exhausting and inauthentic. Trust me, I know. It's also important to remember that we carry ourselves into every situation. I was listening to a podcast with Simon Sinek where he said people respond to men and women differently based on their lived experiences. He went on to tell a story about a female military leader who was promoted but was failing miserably in her new role until she admitted she was struggling and changed her leadership style to better suit her team. She went from crying herself to sleep every night due to the pressure to celebrating her success. Something to consider. As I approach the second phase of life, which has come with much contemplation and reflection, I've realized that I've spent a lifetime searching for answers as to who I am, as to why I am the way I am. Working with who I am naturally, rather than trying to mold myself into someone else, has proved a much more compassionate way of being in this world. I'll leave you with this. Perhaps your version of confidence doesn't align with the mainstream definition. Perhaps your form of confidence is quieter, deeper, and more connected. You are not lacking. You are not doing confidence wrong. You are not behind. You are aligned. To check out this article in written form and many more articles, head over to my website, sarahkanata.com. That's SarahCannata.com. I'll place that in the show notes and I will chat with you for the next blog.